In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the new Fire Maple Petrel. It is an awesome little titanium lightweight cooking stove and pot, and it's a fantastic system, so stick around. So, I'm kind of an old dude, and I remember backpacking, back like in the 80s and early 90s, and our gear was just so freaking heavy. I mean, I was carrying like an old Coleman stove, like the one with the fuel bottle at the bottom. It's like this big. I don't even know how many pounds that thing weighed. My tent was probably 6 pounds, something like that. JanSport pack with a frame. It was just, everything was ungodly heavy. But I was young and I could do it. It was not that big of a deal. Now that I'm older, I don't do backpacking as much, really. I tend to do a lot of base camping, pick out a spot, kind of go to it, stay there, hang out with my friends, and then kind of go on day trips, hikes, stuff like that. But I still like a nice lightweight stove system to carry in my pack because I'm not always cooking over the fire. Sometimes it's nice to cook underneath your tarp on a rainy day, or if you're in a hammock, having a small stove system that you can heat up some water for coffee or make some food is invaluable. And especially in wintertime, having a canister stove, gas stove, is really key and something that I always want in all my bags, no matter what kind of camping I'm doing. And even day hikes, they're just great to have along. When you stop along the trail, find a place to sit, make some coffee, make some ramen, whatever. So this is a new stove from Fire Maple. This is the Petrel. It's coming in at about $60. But what's cool about this is it's a system that kind of works together, and it solves one issue that I've seen with a lot of canister stoves. So let me show you what we're talking about here. So we have a very nice locking fold-out handle. We have a tight-fitting lid that has drain holes and a pull tab, and I believe that you can cook on the stove with this on the pot. I haven't had any issues yet, and from the videos I've seen of other people doing it, I don't think that's an issue. You wouldn't want to do this in a fire, but with a stove, it's not a problem. This is the stove itself. Kind of an ingenious little guy. Titanium as well. This thing slides up, and then the arms lock out like that. Gives you a nice wide base. But here's where it solves the issue. See those 3 slots? Well, those line up perfectly with the stove. And what that does is it gives you a more stable base. So you're not worrying about this thing sliding off or falling off. You can actually be on some fairly uneven ground and it's still going to hold the pot. Now, the other feature of this particular pot that makes it different than just other, standard straight wall cups is that it has these fins. And the fins, from my understanding with these systems, it just helps, take the heat and put it where it needs to be. It concentrates it better. It just does a better job of heating the water faster and more efficiently, so you're not running through all your fuel. I know that fin system, I've seen that like on Jetboils, and I think that was the whole point of those too, is that it's just more of an efficient system for getting water heated up. And then the smaller canisters, like this MSR one or the small Jetboils, they fit perfectly inside this cup. This is a 600 milliliter cup, so that fits in there. So I've got my Hill People gear junction pack with the line pocket on it. Super nice little day pack. And I love having this little cook pot with me on these kind of jaunts that I'm doing. So what I want to do is I want to heat up some water and time this and see how it does, so you guys can see that. Now, 600 milliliters, it is marked on the inside of the pot, And there is a max fill line that they give you, so we're gonna go ahead and do max fill. There, that's max fill. Doesn't have a piezo igniter, so I need a way to start the stove. And if you've never used these little gas canister stoves, they're really super handy. And there's new devices out now that you can actually transfer gas between old canisters and new canisters, so you're not wasting a lot of fuel. But they're super handy, lightweight, easy to use. Well, fire kit out here. It's a little windy out here, so a windscreen would be something I'd want to add to this kit. Keep that in mind. See, by turning that key, you can adjust up and down your flame, but then okay, we're at 3 minutes and we're at a rolling boil. Look at this thing. That's nuts. Wow, okay. A lot happened really fast. That was a rolling boil at 3 minutes. I had that thing cranked up full power. At max, the max fill on this thing, which is probably under 600 milliliters. But holy cow, that's quick. So if that's a concern of yours, that's great. And then the lid, with the heat, it was kind of sealing itself to the pot. So you need to be careful that you're not sealing that thing down if you're wanting to check all the time. But what's nice about this is, since it's got that silicone tab on it and it's got the drain holes, if I was doing like pasta or ramen or something, just hold that tab, drain your water. And then with my cook kit, I always like to carry a few extra items to eat in. I don't like to eat out of the pot. If I can, I would prefer to mix all my stuff in a bowl and eat out of a bowl, but sometimes you have to cook in the pot, and that's fine. That's why I always bring like a little scrubby pad with me, just cut one down. I always bring a folding cup. This is just a cheap Walmart Ozark Trail folding cup. I have these in all my kits, but they do a good job. They stand up pretty well. And if you're doing your coffee, you just pour that in there like that. And then this little mess kit that I have, this is from Wildo. I believe they're, I want to say Swedish, maybe Finnish. A nice little contained mess kit. Comes with a pretty decent spork. And then what I do is I just put together a package of coffee, some instant soup, and throw that in there. Throw my scrubby pad in there, and then my cup. And everything kind of fits in there. And it just makes for a nice little lunch kit when you're out and about. So I'll have a link to Fire Maple, their store, and I believe there's a discount code for these guys if you want to buy directly from them. If not, you can also go to my Amazon store. There'll be a link in there as well. You can check out the specs, the weight, all that good stuff. It is a very well made little pot, titanium like I said, so it's super lightweight, but I love that they built in the little pot stand, so the stove works perfectly. Now, one thing I forgot to mention or show, this stove does come with a plastic case, like a little pod, if you're worried about protecting the stove. One thing to note is that the stove, when it's in that pod, does not fit in the pot with your canister. So I don't carry the pod that it came with the case. I take that out, and then that way I can get my stove and my canister all in the pot. And then what I do is I either use a bandana or I'll use the scrubby pad as kind of a buffer between the two. That way it's not banging around or scratching up the inside of the cup. But this just comes undone, unscrewed like this. And that's not even hot anymore. That's cooled down very quickly, and that's a good thing about titanium. It cools down fast. And then you put these up, and then turn it, and then it goes down. See that? And then the key folds up, and you got a very compact little package. All right, as always, thank you so much for watching my videos. If you like this kind of content, do me a favor and subscribe and hit that bell notification so you know when videos are coming. I always try to post a video at least once a week, and Fridays and Sundays around 4 p.m. Eastern time is my usual time. I'm also posting content on my Facebook group, which is huge, over 26.7 thousand members. Also on Instagram. And then please check out the affiliate links down below. That helps the channel, helps me out. And as always, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time on The Prepared Wanderer.